There it is, the perfect birthday gift for my mom. I run over, my 10-year-old self excited, and I tug on my dad's shirt. I say, "Dad, I found it, the perfect gift. A beautiful blue vase." My father, the artist, takes a look at it. He looks at me. He says, "Oh, Kelsey, look again. That vase is about so much more than a vase. It's about the space inside the vase. It's about how the vase interacts with its environment. It's about the blue the vase is, and the red the vase is not. Look again." Fellow Toastmasters and friends, I still remember that conversation my 10-year-old self had with my father, and those two words, to look again. Being an artist, my dad sees the world a little bit differently than the rest of us. When he looks at a cold, hard sheet of stainless steel, he sees a beautiful piece of art. He's able to create abstract works anywhere from 6 to 30 feet tall. Being an artist, that also meant he could play the role of Mr. Mom and work from home. I grew up in that studio with him. I still remember the pungent aroma of metal binding to metal with each and every weld. I remember the sound of the grinder hitting those rough edges, smoothing them out. To this day, I can't walk past a construction site, hear those sounds and smell those smells. It takes me back to those days in the studio with my dad. When I was 14, my dad, my best friend, suffered a massive stroke. That first night in the hospital, the doctors told us something no one ever wants to hear. It's time to say goodbye. I walked into that hospital room, and lying there was a man I didn't even recognize. The only movement was his chest expanding and contracting, forced open and closed by a machine keeping him alive. That's not the man I know. He laid there weak, vulnerable. I couldn't do it. I left that room. And the moment I hit the threshold of that doorway, a single memory came flooding back, and those two words rang in my ear. Look again. As I turn, lying there, I see the strongest man I have ever known, fighting for his life with each beat of his heart. I see him gathering his strength to fight another day. I see the impossible become possible when he lives through that night, and the night after that, and the night after that, until 3 months later we bring him home. The stroke killed 75% of the left side of his brain. It left him without the ability to speak, to write, or even type. It also left him without the ability to use his right arm or his right leg. By all accounts, his internationally renowned sculpting career was over. Look again. We brought him out into the studio, and the moment we did, I saw in his eyes there was a sculpture in there just trying to find its way out. We hired men to work as his hands. He's able to work with them using grunts, hand motions, a line here, a line there. And to this day, he is still creating beautiful works of art from a single sheet of cold, hard stainless steel, armed with nothing more than the shake of a head, a nod, and a marker in one hand. After the stroke, I had to come to terms with the reality that my relationship with my dad would be different. Never again would I be able to hear his fatherly wisdom. Never again would I be able to hear him say, "I love you. I'm proud of you." Look again. I know the moment I walk off this stage and he greets me with a strong one-armed hug, I know he's proud. When I walk into a room and a genuine smile spreads across his face, I know I'm loved. As for fatherly wisdom, it doesn't take words to let me know I still need to clean my room. How we see the world around us matters. That hospital bed could either be a death sentence or the start of a fight for his life. Losing the use of his hands could either be the end of a career or the start of an incredible journey. Losing the ability to speak could either be the end of our relationship or the start of learning new ways to communicate. I invite you, when you leave this space and you see something as simple as a blue vase, or you face something as daunting as a final goodbye, take a moment and look again.